What's up, y'all? I'm Lady, and today I'm here with my January reading wrap up. I'm right outside the library to drop off some books, and I have my notes here. So I was like, let me go ahead and share what I've read in January. So January was a great reading month and a great month for this channel, making my way back to BookTube. And I actually did how many videos? 8 videos in January. That is, I don't foresee that continuing going forward, but it was awesome. It was fun. I'm glad to be back, posting and consuming all this bookish content. And I feel like my reading reflected my return because I read 19 books, and the breakdown of that is 5 novels, 1 memoir, 5 graphic novels, and 8 comics. So I usually start the year off running, after seeing all the goals videos and things like that. It's easy. To me, it's a boost, and it helps me to read more in January. So I'm glad about that. So the first thing I want to talk about is comics. I posted a video called My Graphic Weekend where I talked about all of the graphic novels and comics that I read in January. Check that video out if you want to hear my thoughts on those. There are 2 comics missing from that video because I read them at the end of the month, and that is Abbott and Abbott 1973. I saw these in someone else's wrap-up video, and my library had them, and so I was excited to give them a try. They definitely sound like my type of graphic novel. And what Goodreads says about them is, while investigating police brutality and corruption in 1970s Detroit, journalist Elena Abbott uncovers supernatural forces being controlled by a secret society of the city's elite. So I gave the first one 3 stars and the second one 4 stars. And I think I'll stick with those ratings. I will say that my reading experience was affected because I started the second volume before realizing that there was a first volume. And so I think that messed up my experience a little bit. But let me show you all what the art looks like. I do enjoy both of these have a quote at the beginning, and this one says, journalism is the first rough draft of history. I like that quote. Let me show you all some of the art, what it looks like in here. Really good. I think it goes with the times that this one is written in. And then the quote in this one says, what? Journalists are detectives for the people. And so that's what is written in the first part of this one. And here is some of the art in this one. The one thing that I'll say kept me from rating this one higher is that something that occurs in book 2, I feel it wasn't properly explained. Someone has superpowers, and it was kind of mentioned or alluded to in the first one, but then we get to the second one and the person is using the powers and there's no explanation. So that just kind of threw me off. That's, about that one. But I do recommend. In January, I DNF'd 1 book, and that was The Memory Librarian and Other Stories by Dirty Computer. This one is by Janelle Monae. This was my 3rd attempt to listen to the audiobook, which is 12 hours long. And this last time I made it to the 3-hour mark, and then I just didn't care anymore about, where the story was going. And so I just stopped listening to it. I just couldn't get into it. So let me know if you read it and enjoyed it, if I should pick it back up someday. The books that I did finish, The first one, Nubia the Awakening. I rate my books now on Storygraph. So this one got a 3.75, not quite 4 stars. But for thoughts on this book, check out my library pickup video that I posted in January. It has my thoughts on that book there. The next 2 books I read was All I Did Was Shoot My Man and Sometimes I Wonder About You. These were both by Walter Mosley. They are books 4 and 5 in the Leonid McGill series, which if you're not familiar, this series follows Mr. McGill, who is a New York City based private detective, and he used to be totally on the wrong side of the law. Now he is on the right side, per se. So yeah, I can't give many details since it's part of a series, but I will say that my favorite character is still his son Twill. I really enjoy him, and one thing that I enjoy is about this series is meeting the new characters and the new people and finding out their crazy backstories, because when he was on the other side of the law, he met some really interesting people. Okay, so I would recommend this series for sure. The next one was The Deep by Rivers Solomon, and this was my second read of this one. In 2019, I read the physical book, and this time around, I listened on audio, and I'll say I enjoyed it more the second time around. Goodreads lists this book as the water-breathing descendants of African slave women tossed overboard have built their own underwater society and must reclaim the memories of their past to shape their future. There was commentary at the end of the audiobook, which I enjoyed because it helped to clear some things up for me. Overall, I rated this book 3 stars. And I probably would have rated it less than that before my second time around reading it, to be honest. It just wasn't what I was expecting. But the one thing I will take away from it is the importance of our oral traditions. Because in the story, these people, because of their traumatic history, not everyone in the community in this world remembers the memories. There is one person that holds the memories for everyone, and that's just crazy. That's wild to think about. But I would recommend this one after reading it a second time. This one I read for my book club, so I'm interested to see what the other people in the book club thought about it. Next up was Mr. Loverman, and this one is by Bernandine Evaristo, and this was my first read by her. I still have not read Girl, Woman, Other. This one was excellent. This is what Goodreads says. 74 years old, Antigua born and bred, flamboyant Hackney personality Barry is known for his dapper taste and fondness for retro suits. He is a husband, father, and grandfather, and for 60 years he has been in a relationship with his childhood friend and soulmate Morris. That's right. I listened to this one on audio. Literary fiction, excellent, 5 stars. I highly recommend this one. I enjoyed the fact that it had 2 perspectives, Barry's perspective and his wife Camille's perspective. Barry being a man from the islands, and in his time, even though he was clearly gay, he was very homophobic. I'll just say that with some of the comments that he made. The ending was excellent, and I do recommend this one. The last one was Just As I Am by Cecily Tyson. I listened to about 25% of this one on audio, and the other 75% I read via the physical book. You had Viola Davis, Cecily Tyson, and Robin Miles as narrators, so that was excellent. And even as I was reading the book, I found myself like I heard it in Miss Tyson's voice, which was excellent. It was like, sitting down with an elder and she's telling you things that you need to listen to, about her life. And I realized there is a lot that I did not know about Miss Tyson. And yeah, I did not know about her child. I did not know that she was married to Miles Davis. And I also found it very interesting, how she chose her roles. So she didn't, she just wasn't playing any roles. It had to be something special, meaningful, uplifting for our community. And I found that very interesting and a good thing. That's it for me. That is my January reading wrap up for 2023. I hope to keep up the momentum going forward this year. Let me know in the comment section below, how many books did you finish in the month of January? I'm Lady, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.